Sean Donovan and Alison Dunn, two British spooks stationed in Istanbul, are caught in a spy versus spy drama. Donovan's got a hunch that Alison might be pocketing a top-secret file, so he trails her. Of course, in classic Chase fashion, he loses her in the chaos. Alison then does a sneaky swap of the file, with a shadowy figure, only for Donovan to later discover she's been murdered. Fast forward a year to Slough House, where the team is stuck in their usual boring tasks. Catherine Standish is at an AA meeting when Donovan, donning a disguise as a fellow attendee, slides in to chat. They go to a cafe, but Catherine starts to get the heebie-jeebies and tries to bail. Too late, Donovan's crew swoops in and snatches her. The next day, the slow horses are scratching their heads over Catherine's vanishing act. Shirley and Marcus raid her apartment. Louisa digs into her last whereabouts, and River Cartwright gets a chilling photo of Catherine with a gun to her head and a message, Barbican Bridge, 1 minute or she's toast. He zips over to Barbican Bridge, expecting a bit of drama. Instead, he finds James Spiderweb looking nervous and jittery. Someone kidnapped her sister too and want Prime Minister vetting file from MI5 headquarters. And just when River's about to brush it off as a bad joke, he spots a sniper's laser dot dancing on Webb's forehead. River decides it's go time and sneaks into MI5 HQ under the guise of having found a missing diamond. He manages to snag a security pass and slinks his way to the records department like a pro. Meanwhile, back at Slough House, Louise is connecting the dots between an abandoned car and Donovan. Lambs realizes they're being watched, and Dander and Longridge are having a tough time tailing one of the mysterious watchers. Lamb finally pieces it together. The kidnappers are actually a Tiger team, hired by MI5 to run a security test. He rings up River, letting him know that Catherine's life isn't actually on the line. River successfully makes his escape, but, of course, gets caught by the ever-watchful security. River gets a payback from Duffy for making him look like an amateur. Meanwhile, Lamb uncovers a juicy tidbit. Standish's kidnappers are actually from Chieftain, a private security firm hired by Home Secretary Peter Judd. Judd just wants to strong-arm Tierney in privatizing MI5 security, giving business to his friend's Chieftain. But things take a wild turn when Donovan, who's supposed to be working for Chieftain, decides to go rogue. He snatches both Standish and a fellow Chieftain operative. Dander and Longridge dig into Donovan's scheme and discover he's after MI5's gray books, the ones with all the juicy conspiracy theories. Lamb manages to get River out of his tight spot and sends him and Guy to Chieftain's HQ. There, they find out that Webb was in on the whole plot. When Webb tries to negotiate with Donovan, it ends in a tragic mix-up, and Webb accidentally meets his end. Lamb takes the fight straight to Judd at a swanky restaurant, only to find Donovan dropping Webb's body at the same spot. Tierney plans to allow Donovan access to the gray books in return for Standish's release and then have him arrested by Duffy. But Donovan, teaming up with Alison Dunn's siblings, has a twist up his sleeve. He's on a mission for justice for Alison's death. Standish, moved by the plea, helps them out by pointing them to the file they really need. Meanwhile, Ho tracks down the safe house, and he and Lamb set off to rescue Standish. River and Guy escort Donovan and Ben to the file storage facility, only for Ben to drop a bombshell. The gray books were a red herring. He's actually after a different file entirely. Tierney soon figures out that someone inside MI5 has hidden a file in the facility. Duffy is ordered by Tierney to kill everyone inside the facility to ensure the file isn't leaked. Tierney faces off with Taverner. She knew Taverner was Donovan's mole and had planted the footprint file, which holds explosive evidence of Tierney's dirty laundry that could spell her undoing. Alison was set to blow whistle on her butt. She got her killed. As Chieftain operatives gear up to raid the file storage facility, River sends out a distress call to Lamb and requests backup from Slough House. Dander and Longridge, eager to get their jobs back, arm themselves and head to the scene. Meanwhile, Chieftain agents don't waste any time. They capture and execute the facility's security guard. Lamb manages to rescue Standish from Sarah Dunn at the safe house, but they get ambushed by Sturgis and Hobbs. At the facility, River, Guy, Ben, and Donovan are fighting off the Chieftain assault. Amid the chaos, they manage to locate the footprint file, but Ben doesn't make it out alive. Lamb rigs the Dunn house with booby traps, and when Hobbs and Sturgis show up, They're in for a nasty surprise. Ho tries to assist by crashing a bus into the house, but he arrives just a smidge too late to be of any real help. At the file storage facility, Donovan makes the ultimate sacrifice, buying enough time for River and Guy to grab the footprint file and escape. Sanders swoops in to rescue them from Duffy's ambush, while Longridge takes Duffy on in a brutal fistfight. Guy finishes the job by smashing Duffy with a rock, just to be sure. Later, Lamb drops a bombshell on Standish. Her supposed hero Charles' partner was actually a double-crossing traitor, using her for his own ends. Devastated, Standish decides to resign from Slough House. River, meanwhile, takes the footprint file to his grandfather, who destroys it to protect MI5's reputation. But River's one step ahead. He's already made a copy and leaks it out. The fallout is immediate. Tierney and Judd are ousted, and Taverner steps up to take over his first desk.